This is going to be a very interesting video. We have another, are these the graphics? But this time it's from a guy that I actually like. I watched a couple of his videos, so I'm really surprised why he quit Guild Wars 2 after 5 hours. But at least it wasn't 1 hour, so we're gonna give him credit. Guys, don't be too hard on him. He actually commented on some of my videos. I know he's a great dude. I want to hear his reasoning. I haven't watched his video yet.
You know that feeling when one of your friends comes to you and shows you a video that they think it's funny, but as you watch it you realize it is not funny at all to you? That moment when you don't know what to do because any decision can lead to an awkward moment? Or do you know that moment when you get rewarded for having diarrhea? That is how I felt playing Guild Wars 2 for the very first time. It took about 6 hours until that feeling made me quit. The reason I felt that way is because the game is absolutely surrounded by a huge wave of positivity right now. Inside of the game and
I wonder why.
outside of the game. On the internet, since the Guild Wars 3 announcement, a lot of people started playing and the general opinion online is positive. From the new people trying the game for the first time to the old players being hyped to see
the base game is free, by the way. You can try it for yourself.
Populated again. Inside of the game itself, I saw quite a few people talking about how cool the game is and that they enjoyed the experience. And all of it made me feel so weird because it made me feel like there was something wrong with me. I found almost no enjoyment in it at all. You see, about a year ago, I said,
and that's completely fine. Guild Wars 2 isn't for everyone. Like, no game is for everyone. And that's what made the game good. That it's not for everyone. I mean, World of Warcraft isn't for everyone. And people still enjoyed it. Yeah, you gotta understand. If you see a wave of positivity and everyone is like going, yeah, like this is so good, it must mean that a certain group of people just enjoy it. And you may not be a part of that certain group of people, and that's completely fine. Like, there's some MMOs that I don't like plenty of people play. Like, there's some games that other people like that I don't enjoy.
a goal for myself.
It's okay.
To try and play at least a few hours of 4 new MMOs. Elder Scrolls Online, which I did and I found it quite mediocre. FF14, which
it was
I
garbage.
did not try yet. Old school RuneScape
It's good.
that I absolutely love. And
I need to try RuneScape. I've been saying this for so much. Like, I've been saying that I need to try RuneScape for a year now. I wonder when people will actually catch on that I'm just procrastinating.
I still play today. And of course, Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars was the one that I knew the least about. Somehow, this game has never reached me in any way. The things I knew about it were extremely basic. So when Guild Wars 3 was announced, I figured out, you know what, there's no better time to finally give Guild Wars 2 a proper shot. But before I talk about my experience, there is one important disclaimer. My knowledge of the game is still pretty limited. I was only level 28 when I decided to quit. Now, I know some people will immediately say that I don't have the right to criticize the game or make a video like this because...
You don't. You don't. That is nothing to make a conducive opinion about the game. Literally, that's zero time.
I barely scratched the surface. You know the argument, the game gets better and the game gets good 100 hours in. I think that's bullshit. 6 hours is more than enough to...
No, it's not. No, it's not, and you're completely wrong about that. Let me explain why. That is true only for single-player games, not for MMORPGs. MMORPGs always took time to appreciate, always, and you can go back as to Ultima Online or whatever, but I'll give you World of Warcraft Classic as an example. It wasn't Classic back in the day, obviously it was Vanilla, but let's go talk about World of Warcraft Vanilla, because this is the MMO, I'm known for, right? So, even in Classic World of Warcraft, you go back, you play it, what happens in the first, even 2 days? You're still in the same zone killing boars. You essentially do nothing. 90% of vanilla World of Warcraft is dead air. And people still loved it. Why did I love it? Because it was so slow. And at certain point, you were like, damn, for some reason I just can't quit this game. You don't really connect why. And only later, when you get to the higher part of the game and the more exciting stuff, you start to realize, I actually love the game because it was slow, I could absorb the world, I enjoyed the music, I interacted with people, And suddenly all of those things land. Now the problem is, those things don't happen all at once. They happen through an entire process of you slowly and methodically playing the game and advancing through the routes. And it's the same thing for Guild Wars 2. The same rule applies. Now, obviously, Guild Wars 2 is kind of like retail World of Warcraft. It's really, really fast when it comes to leveling, so that is kind of abolished. But to mid the community, you must do meta events. To do meta events, you must be like, I think, max level. To do all of the exciting stuff like fractals and stuff, you need max level. And to be honest, now that I think about it, to do all the fun stuff, you need to be max level. So you being level 28 is literally nothing. It's like 2% to start having fun. So you should have invested more time into Guild Wars 2. You should have tried the endgame stuff because the game is horizontal. Once you hit the endgame, it's essentially flatlining, and this is the point where you get to do whatever the hell you want. And this is where the fun begins. Now, for me, whenever I did my first playthrough for Guild Wars 2, I talked about this. It was like, 4 or 5 years ago. I quit after the Zaitan fight. Because I thought, okay, I'm max level, I did the endgame story, I'm not having fun, I'm quitting. And by the way, I was right to do so. So many people got filtered by the Zaitan fight, it's crazy. I'm glad they're reworking that now. But, I digress. You want to play even further than that. Because the Zaitan fight is just the beginning of your journey. But I guess he wouldn't know that. So, I can understand his point, but still, he's wrong.
Decide whether a game deserves another 20 hours, 50 hours of my life. Maybe Guild Wars 2 eventually becomes incredible at the endgame, maybe it doesn't, but as an adult, time is more valuable than money. It's one of the few
And there's no other MMO out there that respects your time more than Guild Wars 2.
resources you never get back, and we all have too little.
There just isn't.
So if the first 6 hours of a game are miserable, I am not going to treat the next 25 hours or something as an investment in the hope that I will eventually have fun. I'm just going to stop playing. And once I present you my problems with the game, I don't think it's gonna be hard to understand why I felt this way. From the very start, the game felt underwhelming and weightless. I decided to play as a Norn, made my character and was
My first character was a Norn. I played a Norn warrior. This guy's following my footsteps, but he didn't quit at the Zaitan fight. He was just filtered before that.
presented with an intro, which was alright, I guess.
It was good.
Amazing, not horrible. There is
What do you mean, bro? World of Warcraft, you're just being told, like, oh, dog, like, this is Elwyn Forest. Enjoy, go kill Hogger. Like, this was a great intro, but I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like bombastic cinematics. That's fine. I can accept that.
dragon, and there is this great hunt where only the biggest and the baddest, most powerful warriors get to participate.
And
Come
that's
adventure,
cool.
come danger, the intro says. Okay, let's see how do we get into this hunt. I expected my entire intro storyline to be about it. A long journey of me proving that I am worthy. It took me about 6 minutes to get into the Great Hunt. 6 minutes that also included me jumping around, trying to pet a dog, changing the game settings, and just not being focused on speed at all.
As opposed to World of Warcraft, where you spend your first hour configuring add-ons. True.
In these 6 minutes, beyond already getting into
But
this
that's fair,
Great
yeah.
Hunt where only the best are admitted, I was called hero 2 times and champions once. At this point, I wanted to jump off a cliff. If you played retail World of Warcraft, this
Really?
must sound extremely familiar to you.
Yeah. It's like retail.
I may be using champion. Please, just
Champion!
more.
Azaraf needs you! Yeah. This is too good! Oh my god, where did he get that video from? Classic.
I'm tired of being the
I
big
wish it
hero
was.
the second I spawn into the world. I have done literally nothing, and all it takes to get into this hunt that you talked about for half of the intro, is 6 minutes of extremely sloppy gameplay. One of the NPCs tells me that this season will be one of the most dangerous, so be careful out there. Can you imagine how the average season looks like? I don't know, they probably have to hunt butterflies or something. Then to complete
Damn, he
the
called
hunt,
it.
I have to fight is Sormir, which once
They also have to smash pinatas, but he was like 50% right.
again, I am told stuff like, hopefully you will come out alive out of this battle. And of course, you auto-attack him to death for a few seconds,
Yeah.
and it dies. All
I agree. That's a huge problem with Guild Wars 2. The game is too damn easy. The game is way too damn easy, and I'm not talking about the raids. Like, oh, the raids are difficult, like we saw you die in a raid. Dog, I'm not talking about that. The open world is extremely forgiving. And I 100% agree. He has a very good point there. You can literally do anything you want in Guild Wars 2 until Heart of Thorns. Just mouse clicking. Okay, just literally basic attacks. That's it.
praise the champion, which is me of course, and the whole thing is over. You see, this is a great representation of what the rest of the gameplay will be for me. It all felt just so artificial, so immersion breaking, so weightless. It felt so similar to Retail World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and that is the absolute last
right.
thing I want or need. I love a good
To be fair, this guy has some good points. He's not like the New World guy. He's actually giving some really, really great points of frustrations that I can agree, because I've experienced them myself. Again, it's just a matter of if you can go through the slog for the first time, you'll reach the good parts. But it's very difficult to tell someone like, hey, just play until Heart of Thorns, you'd be good. Like, it's very, very difficult. It's even before Heart of Thorns, like, you have to tell them, just play until the Zaitan fight and you'll do fine. It's really bad. I completely understand him.
challenge. I love hard raids, I love being competitive, but if you are going to put a 20 hours barrier or even longer, I don't know, between me and that point, you have to make that time be fun, one way or another. I don't know, good lore, good gameplay, or both at the same time, ideally, but I
Yeah,
found
unironically, Guild Wars 2 has one of the best lores out there. It's just that ArenaNet had absolutely no idea how to make it flash out. No idea. To this day, the most favorite mission I've done in Guild Wars 2 was the library where you had like the Abaddon statue you can dance in front of or you'll die. That was the best mission I've done in Guild Wars 2. Why? Because you got to a library with so many books filled to the brim with information about the expensive lore of expensive and extensive lore of Guild Wars 2 and Guild Wars 1, and it made a connection. It was so good. I remember reading for like 2 hours on stream. That was crazy. Like, I was so drawn in by the lore, but again, ArenaNet never flashed it out. That's a huge problem.
none of those. So I continue with
Yeah,
my
the reading
journey
stream?
and nothing
Exactly.
really changes. Actually, as I start understanding the game more, things only get worse. First thing I notice are the pop-ups. Every time I level up,
Yeah.
I get like 3 pop-ups on my screen. And since I level extremely fast, that happens quite a lot. Every time I
Yep.
finish a quest or an objective.
Facts. I always said the same thing. Dog, cut the pop-ups. Like, it's too annoying. It's too annoying. It's way too many items. I understand that they wanted to make each level exciting. Just condense it. Like, Guild Wars 2 inventory management isn't supposed to be learned until you hit the end game and then you just want to throw yourself off a cliff. Okay? Like, at least let the new guys have it easy.
Whatever, pop-ups. Every time I get close to some
Exactly.
point of
Look at
interest,
that.
pop-ups. The game is filled with pop-ups
Oh my
that
God.
are so immersion breaking and
And he
annoying.
had the event
I
items
get
too.
rewarded with
Poor
chests
guy.
upon chests with random loot every time I take a step. My bags are absolutely full at all times, but I never loot anything, and half of the bag slots are not even actually items, but unopened chests that contain a bunch of other items
Yeah.
in each one. Because
So
God
annoying.
forbid we don't reward players at every single step. God forbid we don't reward players for taking a shit.
To this day, I'm so mad about doing one meta event in Guild Wars 2 because it just completely bombards your inventory. You do the entire terrain of Auric Basin, like you do Tarir, then you go to Chagarant, and then you go to do the airplane stuff like Verdant Brink meta. You do this train. Bro, your inventory better be stacked because like that's crazy. I mean, by stacked, I mean literally you have 20 different bags or some shit because that is way too much. That is just crazy, and it's so annoying to open all of this and then salvaging and then going to the auction house. It's too much, man. Like, it's way too much. They need to cut half of this.
Would not like them to quit the game, would we? This modern MMO design is absolutely horrible.
Yeah, and you definitely need
Pop-ups
those back
everywhere,
slots.
loot chests spawning in my inventory non-stop, being called hero and champion from the start, getting into the big hunt and finishing it under 10 minutes. You know what this feels like? It feels like I'm playing a video game. This doesn't feel like I'm part of an adventure. This doesn't feel immersive, but it also ain't fun from a gameplay point of view. As in, really, what could be fun about this gameplay? I do tasks, and I do tasks. They don't take any skill, they don't present any danger, they're not interesting. I just auto attack everything until it dies. And after I finish a task, the game itself makes sure I do not find anything organically through exploration. God
What?
forbid I miss something. The game just
Really? Did he just say that about Guild Wars 2? Like the game known for meta events? I think he was just ignoring stuff. What do you mean by but I didn't find anything? In the base game, I found so many secrets. Like literally, you have all of these meta events. You have Aether Blade caches. You have the secret labs. You have secret chests. You have secret jumping puzzles. I'm very confused. Yeah, I think again he's level 28, so he just didn't see that. But that's such a weird, bold claim. No, that's completely false.
points me to the next point of interest every time. Quest here, vantage point here. Hero, what the fuck are you doing? You just passed the waypoint without taking it. Are you insane? Hero, it's time to help Albin Chronicler trade with the Jotun tribe. Hero, like, who is Albin? Who are the Jotun? Why do they
He's
want to
right
trade?
about that.
Why can't they trade? What's the problem?
Yeah, he's right about that. Like again, he's going back to the story isn't being explained to you, and he's 100% right. That's ArenaNet fault, 110%. You can tell me that the story of Guild Wars 2 is fleshed out. Nobody understands anything. You need to go to the wiki to understand something, and it's very, very unfortunate. He's so dramatic. Yeah, of course, he's a WoW player. What do you think? I know, I'm a WoW player. What do we want? We're stupid, bro. We need stuff to be explained to us. They can't know shit from the environment. We don't get it. No, I mean, we need environmental telling, and Guild Wars 2 does that greatly, but you need, like, more tangible stuff.
I don't speak to anyone, and all these tasks just pop up on the screen. I finish them, and I get rewarded experience.
No, when he says auto attacks, he doesn't mean literally. He means you can auto attack and complete the game using auto attacks, which is 100% right about, by the way. But you can tell from his gameplay, he's using abilities. Like, don't try to get a gotcha moment on him like that.
Points, but I don't know what I'm even doing. It's all just a treadmill of running around and completing chores. And here's the thing. This is one of the very few things
Running around and completing chores is the bane of every MMO. I mean, bane of their existence, but it's also their foundations. You can't really put this on Guild Wars 2. Every MMO, if you... Oh, geez, what a voice crack. Nice. Every MMO, if you distill it, it's you completing chores. You think World of Warcraft Classic, Vanilla World of Warcraft wasn't you completing chores? Of course it was. Save for the late game stuff, it was always about you completing chores. You giving 10 bare asses to a random NPC is a chore. You picking up flowers for some lady is a chore. You carrying over a package to a guy at Menifil Harbor is a chore. Everything is a chore. The thing is, do you like it or not? Do you like the world? Do you like the mission you're set upon? Like Frodo carrying the ring to Mount Doom is a chore. It's a difficult one, but it's a chore. So it's all depending on how you view it at the end of the day.
already knew about Guild Wars before playing it. These dynamic world events that are supposed to be one of the game's biggest strengths. They're beloved by the community and constantly brought up as an example of what Guild Wars 2 does differently. But if you played modern World of Warcraft, for example, these just felt a lot like world quests. And just like world quests in WoW, some of them barely require you to participate in order.
Wow, I'm very surprised. The new World of Warcraft expansion look very similar to Guild Wars 2. I wonder why.
To get rewarded and are just boring. Remember at the beginning of the video when I talked about being rewarded for having diarrhea? It actually happened. I went AFK for 30 minutes because I had to take a shit. When I left, I was level 20. When I came back, I was level 22. I hadn't been at my computer. People around me completed events while my character stood there, and I still got experience for it. There are also some
Wow, that was such a World of Warcraft quote. Holy shit. You guys heard that? Nah, he's a true WoW player. He said I was just stealing it. Bro doesn't know about communal effort. But no, I understand why a WoW player would say that. To a WoW player, like sharing XP and all of this stuff, it's like, what? You don't steal your tag? What? It's so good. I actually love that he said that. That's beautiful. That was such a self-report that you're playing WoW. I mean, I know this guy, so I know he's a WoW player. But no, that was so funny. I mean, listen, even retail copied that from Guild Wars 2. You have shared experience in retail World of Warcraft. You have shared tags. And there's a reason for it. It makes the game feel way more communal. It's way more fun when you don't have to wait 2 minutes for a boss to spawn or whatever. Even if you do one hit and you pretty much steal the entire experience for yourself as well, you're not really stealing. You're getting it as well. Now, have you leached progress off other people? 100%. Is it kind of a dick move? True. Might just be. But at the same time, it makes everyone else have more fun. So I think a few AFK leechers is worth the price of the community that comes from it. In my opinion, it's worth it.
Quests for the Norn. The last one I needed was the Spirit of the Raven. You have to go and do some tasks for the shamans. I traveled all the way there, talked to the shaman, and he was like, nah, you already did it. At first I thought maybe I'd done it earlier and simply forgotten, so I googled it to see what the task was like, to see if I actually did it. And no, I have never done that, unless my cat secretly logged into my account or someone broke into my house to play some Guild Wars. The only explanation is that I just passively completed it at some point without even realizing it. I don't
Enjoy.
know, this is a huge problem to me. When a game is handing
You're part
out
of
progression
greatness.
so freely that I can gain XP while AFK and complete objectives without even knowing they existed, it starts to feel less like an adventure and more like a conveyor belt. Like, I don't know, people talk about these events and about the exploration of Guild Wars 2 being so good, and I really feel like I'm insane or something. Is it wrong that I don't feel like I'm actually exploring when the game is always pointing me towards the closest point of interest, no matter what it is? One of these brainless events.
Because the other things aren't a point of interest. You can't find them unless you explore for them. You only went for the explorable stuff and then you're surprised you found them. Of course, you followed the arrow crazy taxi style. You didn't go on a limb and try to get into that nook inside of a cave and found out it was an Aetherblade pirate cache. You didn't try to go on some weird looking raft or pole or some sort of like wire line, like electricity line, and discovered it was a hidden jumping puzzle in Lion Arch. You never done that. That's why you're saying all of these things. You haven't experienced it because you haven't tried. You just followed the arrow and called it a day. And that's a huge problem.
A waypoint, a quest, a vantage point, literally anything. I don't know, Elden Ring or Morrowind have great exploration, okay?
Yeah,
would it be weird to say it would be kind of ruined if at all freaking times you would have an arrow on your screen pointing you directly towards the nearest point of interest to you, whatever it is, all the time? Also,
you can disable it if you don't like it. I mean, you can, right? I mean, yeah, so many people have. Like, it's just, I don't get this point. I really am trying to understand. Some points is very, very reasonable, and some points is just completely unhinged. That's the part. Yeah, just turn it off. I mean, if you really don't want them, just turn it off.
the fast travel in this game. Old school gamers will say
I guess
that
you wouldn't know
all
that.
fast travel is bad, but that's not true. Depends on the game. But the extremes are almost never a good idea. Having no fast travel or having a ton of...
the fast travel existed because you never had mounts previously. That being said, I really do hate Guild Wars fast travel. Especially when you have such an exciting mount. Like, I think the fast travel is so bad. And I hate Azura for making them.
is very risky and can only work in very specific types of games. Guild Wars 2 has the biggest amount of fast travel possible. If you thought something like modern WoW makes the world feel small because of how fast you can get from one point to another, wait
I
until
agree
you
with
see
this
Guild
point.
Wars 2,
I
where
agree.
you can just click one of the million waypoints on the map and get instantly teleported anywhere. Also,
To be fair, they fixed it in the expansions. As far as I've seen from Heart of Thorns, you don't have many waypoints. You have like a giant map and only 3 waypoints. I don't know if it's true and applicable to the other expansions. I haven't reached those. I'm about to hit Path of Fire. But in Heart of Thorns, it is true. So, again, it's kind of a base game thing. But I do understand because that's his entire perspective. Yeah, because they added mounts, obviously, right? So he wouldn't know that.
Like, it wasn't bad enough. In my experience up to level 28, the game did not feel open world either, which makes everything even worse because it was already feeling super artificial, but the amount of loading screens and instance zones I had to go through is insane. Every zone is quite big, not gonna lie, but they are all separated by portals and loading screens. And even inside these zones, there are other portals and loading screens to instanced versions of it for the main storyline or for some dungeons or something.
To be fair, only World of Warcraft has managed to go full no loading screens. Only Blizzard managed to pull it off. No other MMO has, as far as I'm aware of. I think even Rift has some loading screens. But maybe Rift got close, and that's it. Nobody managed to pull this off. Nobody. So this is like not a Guild Wars 2 hate stuff. Like it is what it is. They didn't have the talent to pull this off. And what can I say, right? Like nobody can be old Blizzard. Nobody. Only Blizzard can. Lord of the Rings Online? Lord of the Rings Online had no loading screens? I haven't played that, so if that's the case, kudos.
And the last thing I want to touch on before I give my final opinion is the story. I give this as an example quite often about how
the
powerful
story is
the
trash.
story of a game can be. To me, at least. My favorite game is Silent Hill 2. And if I was to describe the gameplay of that game in one word, I would choose the word trash. But the story, the story is why it is my favorite game of all time. The story I experienced in Guild Wars 2 is a story, I guess.
This guy is exactly like me. I can tell. We're the same type of players. We're the same WoW DJing brain that really likes to be immersed in the world and the story. And that is something that is very difficult to do in Guild Wars 2. I bet he doesn't even care about the gameplay, really. He was just so mad that the story wasn't explained to him, and he constantly jumped from teleport to teleport. And when I put myself in his shoes, I can completely understand why he quit the game.
Not bad. It's a chain of events. It's made out of things that happen one after another. It happens in chronological order. I might even add that it involves characters. And that is the most I could say about it. The gameplay itself is ultra artificial and immersion breaking, and the story would have to be quite good to carry it for me. I will not spoil what I saw so far, but it's just a story.
Spoil what? Spoil what? You played Dungeon, bro. Okay, sure. What the Norn starting area has to spoil? I don't even know. And I played a Norn. Like ear-thick thighs? You should spoil that. That would make million more players come. To play the game, I mean.
I could write it with no problems.
I didn't mean anything else.
It's basic as hell. It's not bad. It makes sense. So it's already
You can play Guild Wars 2 with one hand, right?
a few billion times better than what we get in modern WoW. It's just there. And if the gameplay was as amazing as everybody describes it, I would just say, well, it's there, the story is there to ground what you are doing into the world a little bit. The real deal is how fun the gameplay is. But that is not the case. And it's not even that the game does a bad...
It's not the case because you haven't reached a part where it is true. That is why it's not the case. The gameplay isn't fun until you get an elite spec. Like, it's not. It's very, very dull and boring. Once I played a Guardian, right? For the second time. For the second time, I actually fully immersed myself and locked into Guild Wars 2. I played a Guardian, and the base Guardian was okay. It wasn't that good. It was just like, okay, whatever. The moment I chose Luminary, my life has changed, brother. Like, I'm a new man. I'm a Luminary pilled at the moment. I tried Dragon Hunter, bro. That crap is for sissies. If you're going Luminary, you never turn back. That is so much fun. I'm having the best time of my life. One of the best classes I've ever played in MMORPG history. It's that good. But you didn't reach the point where you get to choose your elite spec. And that's why you're so mad about the basic stuff. And I get it. I get it, but you just need to wait. And by the way, level 28 isn't even enough to have like all of the abilities and all of the virtues? That's how you call specializations and stuff, right? You don't even have that. So Luminary trash, ban that guy. But yeah, like you didn't even reach that point, which is insane. So you judged way too early. It all comes down to he just didn't give this game enough time. 6 hours is nothing.
Job of explaining.
Luminary is easy mode, bro. You guys are so mad that Luminary is literally one of the most difficult specs in the game. You have to manage not only 2 weapon sets because you can swap your weapon, but Luminary is the weapon set. It is the weapon swap, and you guys are so tilted that I've learned that I've like done a very great build, and it makes you seethe. I love that. I love seeing you cope. Everyone knows that Luminary is one of the most difficult like elites in the game.
Who these people are, although it does. I have no idea who these races and people
Y'all are bugging.
and what are their
Crazy.
stories and why should I care. But even if I knew those things, the story itself, what happens around me, is just super bland, super typical. It's there. Look, I've seen videos of Guild Wars 2 Endgame, and it generally looks good. I never got there myself, of course, but I understand what I'm looking at. I used to mythic raid and push high mythic plus keys in World of Warcraft all the way through Shadowlands.
My condolences.
So I can still recognize good and complicated and hard MMO content when I see it. I've also heard nothing but praise for Guild Wars 2 mount system, and from what I've seen, it
Yes.
deserves it. The horizontal progression
Okay,
is
thank God. Oh, thank God. Dude, I was sure he was about to say it was trash or something. Okay, thank God. W.
appealing too. I heard that there is a lot of it in this game, but I don't know exactly how it works.
There we go.
So unlike retail, World of Warcraft, your progress doesn't seem to get wiped out every patch. The game looks good, the music is okay, but I don't buy
The music is insanely good in Guild Wars 2, in my opinion. It was made by the guy who made a Skyrim soundtrack, right? At least the base version of the game.
the argument that I need to play another 20, 40 or 100 hours before the game becomes fun. If I'm going through a busy or rough period of my life, that could be weeks of gaming. I am not spending that much time hoping a game eventually gets good. It should be fun from the start, and plenty of games manage exactly that. It's not that hard. What confuses
I already
me
said what
most
I think
is
about
the
this.
overwhelming praise for the leveling experience. Usually, when I disagree with the majority, I start questioning
Dude, that looks fun. What the hell they're doing in the background? Is that a raid? Don't spoil it to me. Just like tell me.
myself, right? It's unlikely
Tell
that
me no
everybody
spoilers.
is wrong and I'm right. But people constantly praise the exploration and the leveling of this game, and I just don't get it. The problems I encountered felt obvious and impossible to ignore. To me, the game
That's it. You heard that? You heard that? What? That's what happened to him. I'll listen.
problems I
Listen
encountered
carefully.
felt obvious and impossible to ignore.
The problems I encountered felt impossible to ignore. You see? That's what got him. He basically got rage baited by the initial story sucking balls and all of the, the game being really, really easy and all of the points of interest and stuff. That's really confusing. I understand that. And it completely obfuscated all of the fun out of the game for him. It just pulled a veil in front of his eyes, and he couldn't see anything but this. Like a bull with a red carpet in front of his face. He went just like, he was like mad, okay? Or whatever sound bull makes. I don't know. He just like it kills you. So I get it. Like I get it. I get where he's coming from. He's been rage baited by Guild Wars 2, and that happened to many. That happened to me. I can't even judge him, but I knew better because I played MMOs my entire life, and I know that MMORPGs take time to develop and takes time to appreciate and have fun. So I'm very surprised that he, as a WoW player, didn't get it.
To me, the game felt like any other modern MMO.
Yeah, the game has very low population for a reason. Onboarding is terrible. I agree. Listen, that's why they're going back and fixing it. Right? They're doing it 14 years later, which it's something, but I understand. Like I completely understand.
Mediocre story.
I'm
wrapped
not blaming
around
him.
Shallow, immersion breaking, boring, uninspired gameplay. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe I'm insane, but I genuinely don't understand the hype and I don't have any will to play anymore. I just wanted to yap about it. If you have fun right now playing Guild Wars 2, that's great. This is just my experience and yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget
Oh,
up to-
damn. Oh, I bet he got roasted. I bet he got. I'm gonna leave a link in the description, guys. Go show him support, leave him a like. I actually really like this guy. I bet he's gonna watch this video of me reacting to him. If you're watching this, by the way, brother, please give Guild Wars 2 another try, but make it right, okay? Trust me, for your own sanity, this game becomes really, really good once you put the time into it. If you go from a streamer or content creator perspective into Guild Wars 2, you're not gonna have fun. This game is not streamer friendly. It's not, it is video friendly because you can, like, edit it however you like. It's not streamer friendly though. If you're looking to make cheap, fast content about the game, it's not going to fly. I'm not saying you're about to do it. I'm just saying if you came with the perspective of having a blast in 5 or 6 hours in an MMORPG, you're bound to set yourself for disappointment.